Roman is the biggest bad guy character in professional wrestling.
When's the last time you got laid?
French Toast is the exchange student that you have like a 3-week affair with.
Like, we can see that you don't have pants on.
Can we tell the truth about Dusty sooner or later?
Bro, less people wanted that than are currently watching our streams.
And you know Vince, and you still think, are these true? It's like...
Welcome to the Mark It Down podcast.
Hi, hey, hello. Welcome to a Mark It Down production from Mark It Down HQ. My name is Daniel. I run this operation. I am joined by James Gisanti, a famous actor, I want to say. Everything, you dabble in everything.
I'm a dabbler.
You are a dabbler. You really are a dabbler. We're also joined by Eric, the Derek Grisanti, who's not on camera, but he is here with us.
What up?
Well said. Well said, my friend.
Eloquent.
Yes, and we are here to talk about something that I don't think was on any of our bingo cards for this year. And it's something that we saw coming and assumed it would be dealt with way in advance. And that is that Becky Lynch is officially a free agent as of yesterday, June 1st. Yeah, didn't see that one coming. I don't know. I would have never guessed. We had a little bit of set dressing today. We have a copy of Becky Lynch's book, which, hey, we're going to give away to one of you annoying fans. A brand new copy, not this display copy. This is just a prop. And then I have my own personal copy that I read.
Is the new one signed also?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, my copy is also signed. There's a lot of this book going around. I read it. It was a great book. But anyway, the year 2024, for the first time in about 10, 11 years, Becky Lynch is officially a free agent. Before we get into any speculation or anything like that, just let me ask you right off the bat, how crazy of a sentence is that to hear?
I didn't think it would happen. It's one of those things you like, oh man, how crazy would that be? But when it actually happens, it's almost surreal that I couldn't accept it. You know, like I'm not mad about it or anything. I can't wrap my head around it.
It just doesn't feel completely real.
Yeah.
It feels a little odd. Just to address some quick comments. Final Girl, love the setup. Thank you so much. Me and James spent a lot of time working on it. It's been a try. And Producer Boy was here too.
It's a passion project of ours.
Yeah. Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. Sorry, I'm so wrestling coded that my brain just went there. Happy Sunday. Hey, everyone. Hello. Happy Sunday to you, too. Sunday's an okay day. It's up there. It's probably it's in the top half of days, I'd say.
It's definitely in the top 7.
Yeah, without a doubt, top 7. I'd argue it's top 5 for sure as well.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst days.
One of the worst days.
It's right before Monday.
Yeah, but you're not working that day.
It's
right,
still
all
a day
you're
of
doing
rest.
is thinking about how you work on Monday.
That's true, but you get to rest. Still the bit of relaxation before you start your week.
It's a lot of anxiety.
I think you need to reconsider some things. Just think about things a little differently. Change the perspective a little bit.
Is this bottle somewhat empty or is it mostly full?
Mostly full.
All right, that was there you go. But that's how we got to treat Sundays.
Yeah, work's coming up, but you're still off. It's still an off day. Anyway, so to get back on topic, so we've known for a couple months, or honestly, we've known for about a year that Becky Lynch's contract was coming up in 2024. And in interviews before Mania, she was just flat out said it was around this time and it was coming up very soon.
Mm-hmm.
No deal has been made. We can only speculate at this point because she hasn't said anything about it, like in terms of why it's gotten to this point or what exactly she's looking to do. But we can point to a pattern that this has been happening with a lot of the sign-ins where it's coming down to the wire. We're not going to talk about it now. We might talk sometime about it at the end of the episode or in a different episode. But other contracts are coming up. Gable's apparently expires next week. Natalia's, thank God, is coming up. Ricochet's is allegedly. I don't think it actually is. I think people are just talking about that based on the Will Ospreay conversation.
I heard the summer. I heard it is going to happen this summer, but it got hyped up because of Ospreay.
Cool. I mean, if there was ever a minimum wage worker for whatever wrestling's minimum wage is, which is apparently $350,000, which I don't know. I feel like there's not enough money for what wrestlers put their body through, but that's a whole nother conversation. So this has been a pattern with TKO of things getting down to the wire. Drew and Seth weren't that far away when they inked their new deals. So do we think this is just going to be the norm from WWE under TKO now, or do you think this case is different?
Yes, it's going to be the norm, but so little bit of backstory if you're not familiar. TKO, which has been running UFC for years now, they are notorious for underpaying their fighters.
What is UFC?
It's like this ballet company.
Okay.
You know,
well,
and
ballet is pretty intense. So
it is, and wrestling ain't ballet.
That's true.
But you know, there are some similarities. There is some physicality, and TKO is notorious for not paying their UFC fighters appropriate wages. You know, and it's been a problem for years, and it was something that people were worried about when WWE got bought. So I'm not shocked. I keep saying TKO, but it's Endeavor. Endeavor is the company that owns it. TKO is the group underneath it. So we weren't shocked that this was going to happen, but I will say I don't think this problem is really a TKO problem. I think this is an AEW issue more than it is a TKO issue.
An AEW issue?
Yeah, for WWE. That now I am going to wait as long as possible on my contract. I am going to spend as much time either in negotiations or to create fear that I'm going to get myself the fattest contract I can get. And whether or not you like AEW, whether or not you like that there's competition for WWE, this is the best thing for wrestlers, because no matter what, Becky Lynch, wherever she may land, she's going to get the fattest contract of her career and possibly the biggest contract in the history of women's wrestling.
Very good point. Just want to quickly address a comment. Hunter Iggy, mark it down. Are you both going to wrestle each other? Look, just because we're both here in person and just because there is a literal wood table in front of us doesn't mean anything. But maybe when we get to 2,000 subscribers, someone on the pod will go through a table. Probably Dylan, but we'll see. He
would kill for it. He would love the opportunity.
Somehow I just knew. And
Hunter, you also got to know, between Danny and I think we maybe have like an arm and a half that work.
That's true. I had to stretch a lot today.
So bear with us.
Yeah, we'll get there. But all right, you make some good points, because this is a good thing in the broad terms, in the broad spectrum of things for wrestlers. Obviously, AEW existing is good for all wrestlers. More places to work, more money to be made. Maybe not more job security, but more job security in the sense that there are more places to work. More time for exposure. Makes perfect sense. And I remember, I think even before the show launched, Randy Orton used it to get more money on his contract just by literally posting a picture next to a sign that said Elite.
Yep.
And he used that to troll and get more money from his deal, which is crazy because, like, I would call that bluff instantly.
Absolutely.
Like, that's one where I'm like, you're not fooling anyone with that shit.
I would almost dare him to go.
Yeah. Point, like, have fun. By all means, go. How weird would it be if he went and then Cody still came back? And it's like, what kind of world would we be living in?
Can you imagine a bizarro world where Cody is the WWE guy and Randy is the AEW guy?
Oh, man. That would be, I can't imagine it, but it would be cool.
And Ted DiBiase is the TNA guy.
I still think he's in jail no matter what at the end of the day. Because, you know, we live in a time where there's actual accountability for your actions, but
craziness.
It's unheard of. But
34 times, you know?
34 times. Let's not stray off too much, because, you know, this is wrestling, so a lot of fan base.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Becky Lynch never left WWE for some bucks. She is very well known. She joined AEW. AEW can't use well like Saraya or Ronda Rousey. Okay, gotcha. I get what you mean in theory, but I do think that she's a different case. Look, I love Saraya. I go to bat for Saraya all the time. I think she's a star. I think if she is mad about her match with Mariah May being pulled, or if she is mad because she didn't want to put over Mariah May because, I'm on her side because she's a former champion and should be treated as a little bit bigger of a deal considering how much money you're paying her and how much of an attraction she can be. But Ronda Rousey, I don't think was ever in AEW, so I'm not sure what you mean by that.
She did Ring of Honor recently.
Yeah.
That was the thing. She teamed up with Marina Shafir.
That felt more like she just wanted to do something with her friend before she stopped wrestling altogether and then trashed wrestling in her book. A far less interesting read than this book right here, which again, we're going to give away to someone. Haven't decided how yet, but stay tuned.
We probably won't do it at the end of this episode, but like this video is important if you want the book.
Yeah. Hunter Iggy says I look like a normal guy. I look like a creative wrestler and you look like normal guy. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I feel like
so you're the creator wrestler and I'm normal guy.
Yeah, I think that's
okay. Well, his name is James. Oh, you're a normal guy? Oh, thank you, actually. Never mind. I feel great now. What a great day. If I show up at the garage today, do I get the book? Yeah, sure.
Are you liked and subscribed, Kevin?
I doubt it. How did you find this stream, Kevin? But anyway.
Notifications.
Oh my God. Imagine, dude.
The amount of times
who
we
gets
post.
YouTube notifications? Do you have?
I mute it. I'm even
Yeah.
on mute.
Okay. I was about to say, like, do you
It's exhausting.
produce the book?
No,
Okay.
I get notifications when I go on YouTube, but not like it doesn't pop
Yeah.
up on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's the top video when I go on the
Yeah,
YouTube if we're
'cause
live.
It
Yeah.
likes to tell me that
That
Mark It
shit's
Down
wild to me.
podcast posted, and I'm like, I'm the one who posted it. Why is it telling
That's
me?
wild to me. Becky Lynch is big fish. They have none. AEW can't manage very well. Becky Lynch is loyal from WWE. Look, ultimately, we agree with the sentiment. I'm not going to speak for everyone, but I don't think she's going to AEW. But we're in a situation now where it's technically possible. So why not have some fun and theorize about it? I don't think she is. I don't think it's a true. I think maybe if this was a different time, if this was 2021 AEW, maybe there's a chance because it was cool, because everyone was going over and it was special and it was just a crazy time.
Yeah.
Now, not as much.
I'd say it's almost more possible. I understand what you're saying. Like she would be more likely to jump over because she sees how cool the company is and the places are packed and stuff and whatnot. But I feel like she's almost Tony's of having somebody jump over. He strictly has to rely on his roster and nobody else in like the next 3-4 years other than maybe Kevin and Sammy. But I think she's his biggest
Yeah.
bet.
The last chance to get a difference maker
Right.
before
Before
we're all
he does
set
that.
up for the next so many
Five.
years. Yeah. And for her, even for I don't know. That's probably just me. That's probably my connection.
That's just you, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's fine. But I think she stayed at home for a long time with her daughter.
I think that's the big thing here.
I
I think
think-
that's the best one.
I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that Seth is injured. He's going to be at home for a while. They have a kid. She was supposed to have time off after WrestleMania, allegedly. But we're going to operate as if that's true because all signs seem to point that
She did
was
go away for like a
the
week or
case.
two.
a week. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's like,
Nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
a week means nothing. But, then someone had to injure Rhea Ripley accidentally. But, and they had to emergency break glass, bust out Becky Lynch for the title win. But she has a daughter at home. You got to imagine that she was probably going to be off for 2-3 months, come back in the build up to SummerSlam. Who knows what at that point? Like, there's no clear indication of what plans would have been. But Becky's one of the few women that usually has plans outside of the title. So it's not like she has to just come back and go for the title. So there could have been something in place. You have something you want to say, producer boy?
I think I've said it before. I just, similar to Seth, he re-signed while he was injured, and sorry, I got distracted by the comments.
That's fair.
She doesn't. I forgot what I was going to say.
He re-signed while he was injured. She doesn't.
She didn't. Why didn't she just resign and then take time off? I think is what you're getting at.
Basically, I don't see. I mean, okay, the argument could be if she's not signed, they can't be like, "Hey, Becky, somebody just got hurt.
Exactly.
Can you come in real quick," and she's like feels obligated to come in. But also, she could have just signed and be like, "Listen, I'm gone until Seth comes back. Like, you could pay me a shit ton of money and hope that I don't sign somewhere else. You just got to give me the next like 4 months off." She could have done that,
and
she didn't do that.
I do think they would have honored those 4 months.
I agree,
but the only thing is, all right, two things. One, I think she doesn't want to ever have to be put in that position. Why? When you could be your own boss. Becky can decide when she comes back without ever having to even consider, hey, we need you next week. And while she would definitely be able to say no because she has that power, breathe, relax, be a mom, be a wife, be a vacationer that you've earned it. But the other part of it is we need to acknowledge how smart Becky is. She is a very smart businesswoman. From everything we've seen from her, everything she's very good at marketing herself. She's very good. No matter how long she's gone, whether it's a week, a month, half a year, whatever, she knows people are going to be speculating. So why risk signing that contract, it leaking, oh yeah, she signed, she'll be back whenever, versus in 6 months, that hype is going to be real when she shows up on TV because it's going to be a legitimate mystery. You can't keep a secret if she doesn't actually sign.
And to add on to that, Becky is an aware person.
Yeah.
She knows that some of the crowd is turned on her.
Yeah.
Those crowds, that part of the crowd doesn't buy tickets and show up to venues. They're on Twitter though. She's aware of that. She's smart. She knew it when in her year-long title run in 2019. She was like, in her book, she says, I felt the crowd, starting to turn on me, and I wanted to drop the title. She wanted to drop the title to Shayna Baszler. That was a Vince call. And then even when she got pregnant, she wanted to get squashed by Shayna in like a match where she took no bumps and just got choked out. But they're like, no, you're pregnant. You can't. Like, fucking cowards. But,
I mean, if she did, that's how you end up with a Saraya.
That's true. Exactly. And that girl can grow up and wrestle Saraya. Rufus Saraya at WrestleMania 54, maybe? Yeah, book it. Why not?
14 years.
The kid's already like 4 years old now. That's fine. And it's been born for a while now. But
I was not to skip one of the comments, but I'm jumping to Hunter. I guess there is always the possibility that she just straight up wants to have.
And we were
too. Yeah,
that is very possible. And why sign the contract when you know you're going to be out for like a year at that point?
Or is that amazing business? Sign the contract, get pregnant, and be like, oh, sorry.
I mean, that's the Maria Kanellis contract. That's the Mike Bennett contract.
Yeah,
they knew what they were doing.
His contract's different, right? Because the goal here is to get the biggest contract in women's history, which I think she's going to get regardless.
I think so too.
Maybe that's why she didn't want to just sign and then go on vacation, because it's like optically maybe that looks bad. Like you're signing the biggest women's contract in history and then you're gone for X amount of time. Maybe you want to, stay on or not sign because you plan on taking time off and then come back for it. I don't know what difference signing now versus later will do money wise. I can't imagine it affecting things too much.
I mean, you could be worried theoretically that the buzz will die down on her, but for someone like Becky Lynch, I don't see that happening.
Well, I would say Tony's not supposed to really let you know that he wants you, but while you're under contract. So maybe while she's not under contract, Triple H can find out how much he's offering.
Yeah.
Or she can too, for that matter. And she could be like, well, he's offering me this, like, I know we said that, but she can use Tony, and also Triple H can know what this dude's offering before he offers his crazy number.
I mean, it is just to go off that, because that is ethically the right way of doing it if you're Becky, but contract tampering isn't actually a thing in wrestling. Like Tony couldn't get in trouble for it. Like WWE could never get in trouble for it.
Really?
Yeah. You can't from a legal technical standpoint, you can't get in trouble for it because as an employee,
you're an independent contractor.
Exactly. You have every right to explore your options as an employee.
He's been pretty adamant about Triple H doing it and getting upset over it.
I love Tony.
It would be ironic if he was just like sending little text messages to Becky. Hey, I'll give you $7.
I mean, let's be honest. We all saw pictures of Adam Cole partying the AEW roster while he was still in NXT.
Yeah, I
mean,
like,
if I believe that Tony Khan didn't say, I would love to have you here to Adam Cole, you know, like.
But who is that person in AEW that's reaching out to Becky and on his like Ruby, like
Mercedes? Maybe.
No.
I feel like
I think Mercedes being over there and Mercedes getting a good run for the weeks.
I do think that's a factor. I do think seeing what Mercedes is doing and I've just hearing about how much money she's getting. Knowing that, no offense to Mercedes, no matter which company it is, she's going to get more. Like,
not only that,
if the story was out that, that Mercedes or WWE made an offer to Mercedes, but it wasn't the type, she wanted Charlotte Flair money and better. And they were like, no, Becky's not going to have that issue. Like, she's going to get that right off the jump. But I'm sorry, you were going to
I was just going to say, but to also, they showed that they had Mercedes there for 2-3 months and she didn't even wrestle. So
yeah.
So Becky could easily be like, I don't want to wrestle as much. I want to spend time with my kid. I also want to be able to visit my husband over there. They're doing live events, house shows, and all this other shit. She doesn't have to do that in AEW. She can get paid the same and work less and be with her kid and still visit Seth wherever they're going to be whenever she wants. That's my argument.
That's true.
If I'm her, I'm like, all right, I did everything over there. I can have a kid. I can not have a kid. I can take care of my kid and also visit my husband while he's jumping from road to road to road, house show to crazy,
So then let me ask you guys this then. I know not everybody feels the same, but I'm currently enjoying the AEW product right now. But I know we all know it's not as hot as it was even a year ago at this point.
Yeah.
If you're Becky, is it worth taking that risk? Because I'm super happy Mercedes is there. I'm super happy Ospreay's there. I'm super happy Copeland is there. I'm happy with all these guys that have made the jump, but they haven't been needle movers. And granted, I recognize Becky is a whole different type of superstar. She's in a different atmosphere than the rest of them. But if you're Becky and this isn't 2019, 2020, and I could be that John Moxley character who is going to revolutionize the brand, do I take that risk? And potentially let AEW hurt my brand?
Well, from this book right here that you can win somehow from us, we'll decide how later, I can say that Becky is not opposed to taking those types of risks and betting on herself. This is someone who, quit wrestling at a very young age and couldn't quite let it go and quit a decent paying job to pursue it again and bet on herself and, went on to win the first ever women's main event at WrestleMania. So I'd say that she would be up for the challenge. But I'm not saying she's going to do it. I would still bet money on her staying in WWE. I'm just saying it's not a 0% chance.
Yeah.
And I don't more of a factor is that she's seen how the women's division is booked. Whereas, I mean,
you're good.
Yeah, I think it's just our service.
Right.
But if the produce boy says we're good, I'll take his word for
It
it.
might go in and out, but it's fine.
But she said Ruby didn't take.
We're definitely not live now.
No, well, my thing wasn't on. I wasn't live on here. I'm just so we could see.
Oh, okay.
Comments.
It's okay.
I had no idea. I was freaking out about
What?
it the entire time.
Oh no,
Because our screen just went away.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're live
yeah.
on his
Gotcha.
computer. This is just so we can see the comments.
Okay, I'm just a paranoid, neurotic.
No, it makes sense. I'm gonna fix it. But like I said, she was rightfully criticizing.
Hold on, we got a couple comments. Sorry to
Well, hold on. I gotta get back in so I can see them.
go ahead. Dev said, "What up, guys?
What up, Dev?
What up, Dev?
Sean Cena.
Great name.
Love it.
Funny.
Great WrestleMania main event.
He says, I don't think
It was.
it. It was, but the outcome was devastating. I don't think
That's
Becky
fair.
goes to AEW. I don't see there being a reason for her to go there. Seth is in WWE, and he just re-signed not too long ago. They love to travel together.
Yes. Look,
do they love to travel together,
guys.
They do. They do everything together.
Yeah, they did. They did a bunch of like press going into Mania, and they did all those like YouTube ones where it's like they would do the hot ones and like the GQ stuff. But we don't genuinely think she's going to AEW.
Yeah.
We're just saying there's a non-zero chance. So like, yeah, we get it. Yeah, she's there. It's easier to just be with her husband. But there's plenty of couples right now that are across promotions, and it's fine.
But it wasn't on purpose. Like they didn't choose that.
That is very true.
Other than then none of them really chose it on knowing.
Buddy
that-
Matthews, no?
No, he got fired.
He got
didn't choose
fired?
that.
Yeah, I was thinking Keith Lee.
He got
He got
fired
fired.
too. Malachi got fired.
Adam. Yeah, none of
Well,
them.
Adam left to go.
Be with.
He went to go be with his friends. His girlfriend just happened to be there. You know, so that's fine.
What?
What I'm saying, he didn't go for Brick. He
I'm
went
sorry.
for the elite.
I'm sorry.
It just happened to be that. But I feel like we just don't acknowledge it and just carry on. We don't actually think she's going anywhere. It's just fun to talk about while we're here. But the thing is, I think it's going to be a really funny time. We're going to have months and months. Or let me ask: does anyone have any opinions on the situation? Does anyone here think Becky Lynch is going to AEW?
I think she's going to TNA. Whoa.
I don't think Becky Lynch should go to AEW. She should go to GCW.
Oh,
And that's all I have to say about that.
well put.
Are you on break or are you just got out of work?
No, I'm still.
You're still at work? You're on the clock right now? That's amazing.
Good thing there's video proof.
I'm sending a clip.
Am I on camera?
You are.
You were a little bit. Yeah.
My boss might be watching the rest of
There's
I
only
think you wouldn't be mad though.
We have the tech. We could just blur you out.
Yeah, producer boy can do it.
we can't do that.
Hey, come on, not with that attitude. No
It
time
would-
like the
It would
present.
take us a good year to figure out how to do that.
We got time.
It's fine. Nobody's watching.
Thanks for stopping
That's
by.
also a very good point.
I mean, like 15 people. Chances of one of those 15 being your boss, pretty slim.
13
Any
of
other
that.
questions? As a guest, should I answer any question?
Sure. We'll stick to the topic. How much money do you think Becky Lynch is going to get in her new contract?
How much money did Shohei Ohtani get?
A lot of money, mostly deferred money though.
All right, so she's a woman, so probably less than that.
Oh no, I'm surrounded by three women haters right now.
No.
It's tough.
you agree with me, right?
I think she's a wrestler, so she's gonna make less money. I think that's the answer.
You think it's because she's a wrestler?
Yes, I think because
All right,
she's a wrestler.
whatever you say.
It's like baseball, football. No, baseball, basketball.
I think it's basketball, baseball.
You think so?
Yeah.
What basketball player makes more than Shohei?
Well, he's Japanese.
So
That was important
It's
in
a
the
whole other
negotiation.
market.
But
Don't
no,
you watch New Japan? Come on, isn't this a wrestling podcast?
yeah, but what? Yeah, so who gets paid more than him in the NBA?
Are they going to get paid more than Caitlin Clark?
She's getting bullied, apparently.
She's getting fucking thrown to the ground.
People don't like her.
Listen, you don't have a microphone, all right?
I stole your microphone. I'm sorry.
he's getting another one
Oh,
because
no.
this is important.
No. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we're all just gonna sit and wait and watch you do this actually instead of talking. All right, Kevin, what's your match of the year so far?
I think it's Osprey and Takeshita.
Okay, that was a good one.
Wait,
Yeah.
when was that pay per view? Was
it was it on pay per view or Dynamite?
No, it was on the pay.
It was on pay per view.
Full Gear. I don't know.
No,
No.
Revolution.
Revolution.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Oh yeah, they were doing like he was fighting all the Don Callis family members.
Inexplicably.
Whatever that match was, yeah.
Okay,
That's my match of the year for sure.
that's fair.
Good pick.
No disagreement there. Yeah, everything to say. John Blattner's in the chat.
You're
Oh man, what a life. What a life. All right, what do you think about Orange Cassidy bringing back Where Is My Mind for that pay-per-view match with Trent?
I loved it. He should have never gotten rid of it.
I agree.
He brought it back though, like even after the pay per view.
Yeah, I think it's his like official song.
No, he
again,
came out to
which is
Jane on
nice.
time.
But then when he wrestled later in the night, he came out to.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah. So he came out to 2 different songs that night.
Okay,
Yeah. Weirdly.
that's fine. Get rid of Jane. It's inferior. No offense. Great song, but you can't downgrade from the Pixies like that.
I wish that the crowd
Sang along to it.
would sing along to it a little bit more the way that they do with Jericho.
Yeah, like Jericho writes a bad song and everyone's singing along to
Yeah,
it. Like
it doesn't
crazy.
make any sense.
Like the Pixies are, I think, a renowned band.
They're a way better band than Fozzy, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Everyone remember the classic battles of John Cena versus Fozzy on Monday Night Raw? The musical masterpieces that we were getting.
Masterpiece is a strong word in that respect. Yeah.
I
But
try to block out most things from the John Cena days.
honestly, we just need more rap battles in wrestling.
We do.
You got to bring back Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle versus the Acclaimed. I'm here for it.
But what were you guys talking about before I interrupted?
We're talking about Becky Lynch being a free agent.
Oh, who cares about Becky Lynch?
Well, if she goes to AEW, would you care?
No.
She's still a woman at the end of the day. He doesn't care about any woman there either.
I get.
Me and James were on the same page about this.
I'm wearing my Dylan outfit for the day, so maybe that's why I'm getting this rubbed on me. But I love women. I support women. I'm an ally.
Now,
So where's your
women?
Where's your Caitlin Clark jersey? You don't have one, do you?
No, I don't.
Exactly.
Hates him.
Oh man, just and how secure is your job right now that you're not here?
It's fine. I guess.
Where's your walkie-talkie?
Where do you work again?
I should have brought a walkie. I could have brought a walkie. I don't know if it would
Would you have gotten reception from you?
maybe. I don't know. I don't know
probably
how
not.
strong they are.
Just pretended that you're there.
I got like 10 more minutes and then I have to go back.
No, you don't.
Have to.
You don't have to.
I don't have to. I can go home.
Who needs to feed themselves? Who needs?
I need to talk
pay
wrestling
bills?
though at
That's
the best
actually-
place that there is to talk wrestling, and that's the Mark It Down podcast.
You heard
Like
it
and
here
subscribe.
first.
They let fans on. If you could just show up
That's
and they'll let you on here. It's
Dylan-
crazy.
Yeah, Dylan, fucking Matt.
Dev's
Frank?
Dev is in the comments. You guys always have
Just come on over. John Blattner, you're
We got Sean Cena saying they believe 2025 Royal Rumble is when Becky will return.
I'm good. I'm gonna.
I don't
pass
think
on
it'll
that.
be that long.
That's a long time though.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be
Yeah,
that
but
long.
also if it's SummerSlam, that's really stupid.
I don't think it'll. I mean, but you described 2 months from now versus January. There is a lot of time in between there.
Right, but if you're gonna have a big return,
Survivor Series for Becky.
Okay, so then when would you do it? You're making faces at
I
everything.
don't know. Just wait a year then. That's the only thing I can think of. If you're gonna leave,
She's 37. Like, well, I mean, that's not old anymore in wrestling.
it
But
sounds
you don't-
like that's what you were saying, dude.
Yeah, it
She's
sounds
30,
like that's
No, no,
exactly-
but-
37,
I know, like,
can't
that's
have a
not
kid
old in
anymore.
wrestling, but that's-
37.
No,
that's
you
old
can't have
for a
kids
woman.
anymore.
no. It's old if you're losing like
It's
the
old
peak.
for a girl.
You're losing the peak of like your
What's
your
the
ability.
median age of a wrestler now? It's like fucking 48.
And yeah, and we tell those people to leave.
Name 5.
Name
Jericho.
only one that we told to leave. Sting, we let him stay.
Christian.
No, never.
We let him stay.
Copeland.
We let him stay.
I don't remember
Eddie
you being in
Kingston.
the office.
I wish he was gone. Is he old?
He's 42.
Is he old?
He needs to go. That's rough. It also explains a lot.
Does it?
What does it explain?
That he sucks for a reason.
Oof.
Awful
Alright,
take.
we're-
Take.
Let's get somewhat back on track.
Oh,
here.
we're trying.
I don't know. There's been a big allied shaped wrench thrown in the work.
That word was just used randomly for no
It's on
specific
your
reason.
fucking sleeve patch, which is on camera.
Thank God nobody's watching.
Your brother went on a
But
Twitch
I
stream.
will say, you gained viewers since you've been here.
Yeah,
Really?
Swear to God.
All right,
So what-
I'm the moneymaker.
The porn bots can sense that you're here.
I don't know what that says about anything.
Nothing
but
bad. Can't be bad.
It can't be bad. It can't be bad if porn bots are targeting you.
I help when I can.
There you go.
And we appreciate it.
Yeah. There we go. All right. Okay. Let me ask, do you have any opinions on the actual topic?
What was the actual topic?
Becky Lynch's contract status. She is officially a free agent.
She could just do what she wants. It's fine. I don't really care.
I respect that.
She could stop wrestling and it would be chill.
That
Right,
we went
Danny?
like around there.
I mean, she could. It would be fine because she's done enough. But
What
I'm
else is
surrounded
there
by
to
a bunch
do?
of woman haters, but like,
He
he
makes a
wouldn't
good
say
point.
that
What
to like
else?
Moxley. Like, if he instead of resigning last year, whenever he just resigned, you would be like, just stop. That'd be chill.
I just want to point out that in the back of Becky Lynch's, is this her autobiography?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the quotes is from Maria Menounos.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just pointing that out.
She has a terrible husband.
Well,
apparently.
people on a match at
All right.
WrestleMania.
So can I? You just brought up her terrible husband. Can I?
You can go on a rant about Maria Menounos' terrible
Menounos.
husband.
So I was reminded by our fellow podmate who's not here, Matt, that I apparently very visibly and without shame flirted with Maria in front of her then fiance, now husband.
This makes sense.
I think you had a chance.
I mean, I appreciate that. I don't know if you're complimenting me or being mean to Maria, but
He's being mean to you.
we were at the Fast and the Furious premiere. Like, this was years ago. And
You lost me at fast.
so pretty early on, I lost you. I'm sorry. My storytelling ability is just not what it used to be. But Orange Cassidy loves Fast and the Furious. Like, come on, he's a man of taste and culture. But I was on the carpet with her and I was like, oh, I was there at Mania when you wrestled. And I didn't mention the fact that her white gear got like totally brown and how bad that looked. But I was like, oh, such a
That's
fan. It was
racist.
awesome. Like, you did great. And she spent like a non-awkward amount of time talking to me. And I didn't realize it, but then I had people being like, yo, do you realize that you were just like flirting with her? I'm like, no, I wasn't. I was just being a fan. Well, her husband didn't look comfortable with it.
She's like, he's probably wondering why this random man is talking to her for so long. What do you mean non-amount of time? Was she-
Like a non-awkward amount of time. Like it felt like it didn't feel awkward to me, but then afterwards I was told like, wow, she was there with you for a while talking.
Next week on the pod, Maria Menounos will be on to
Did you get
clarify
her
the
number?
situation.
I didn't think I was flirting, so I wasn't aiming for it.
Well, all
How
right.
old is Maria Menounos?
I don't know. I was gonna guess 42.
No.
That's not a bad one. I'd say top 44.
All right, I'm gonna stand up. My knees are killing me.
That's fair.
45.
Damn.
Just
I was off by one.
Why do we hate her husband?
You're the one who said it.
He's apparently a terrible person.
anyway, I'm gonna acknowledge this comment.
Sean Cena.
Sean Cena again. It's also possible Becky has signed a new deal and is being kept quiet. Also, Undertaker stayed around in his 50s and R-Truth is still active at 52. Yep.
It's 52.
I know, it's insane.
Yeah, very old.
But we also didn't want Taker to stay that long. We were ready for him to go a while before that.
Well, we wanted Taker to stay, but we didn't want him to age. We wanted him to stay young and stay.
R-Truth is going to have the best retirement match of all time.
He probably will, because he's still moving really good. So even in like 10 years, he could probably still have a decent match in him. But yeah, Sean, it's possible, but in this day and age, I just feel like Sean Ross Sapp would have somehow found out. But you know, it's technically possible, but let's live in the imaginary world, or I guess technically the real world, where she hasn't resigned, and it's just interesting to think about this type of thing. You know?
And let's ask you guys: do you want her to stay in WWE? Do you want her to go to AEW? Do you want her to pop up in TNA or GCW? Like, what would you prefer for Becky at this point? What's your ideal scenario for Becky Lynch's career moving forward?
Are you waiting for them to respond?
No, not anybody. It was
further. You're not going to hear them.
But no, and then John with a very eloquent comment.
Very well talking about Maria.
Yeah, that was during the Maria.
Gotcha. I mean, yeah.
I think if you show John a picture of most women, that would be his comment. But you know, do you think that we see her in something else, non-wrestling related?
I could see her acting. I could totally see her acting in something. She's done TV before.
She's Billions, The Rock Show.
Yeah.
I just feel like if she was going to do something like that, we would know about it. So I feel like the secrecy of what she's doing is either she's just going straight back or she's actually making a jump.
I mean, she's also only been a free agent for a day. Like, if she's booking something, she might not have booked it yet. So there's nothing going on.
I mean, if it was a movie, though, she could have easily booked it.
Well, I'm saying it could be unrelated. Like, I'm not saying she has already booked something,
but she could.
She has free time.
Yeah.
So she can jump into things. I mean,
It's better than working for AEW.
I mean, at the moment, yeah. And this is coming from someone who only watches AEW.
I only watch AEW. I don't watch WWE. Yes. I gotta go back to work.
Have a go, man.
Have a good time.
Is your mom home?
No, she's not.
Okay. I was gonna say hi to her.
I'll tell her though.
Please.
I'll let her know.
I want to talk about Survivor with her.
I know that was the reason.
That's why I came here.
Aw.
Bye, everyone.
Later.
Enjoy
Bye.
the pod.
Enjoy work, I guess.
Did you
Oh
grab?
man.
What a world.
Man. I'm so glad 60 Minutes is a repeat this week, so I can watch this live. Hashtag oh,
Take that, 60 Minutes. We're beating you. We're coming for you.
God damn. You know, they say don't meet your heroes, but maybe if you're the hero, don't meet the people you're a hero to. How'd you feel meeting one of your biggest fans?
I feel like we met, though, at a show before.
Yeah. But
Very briefly. No, that's true. This was like real. This was real. It was, again, surreal is the word today. It was surreal.
That's fair. Anyway, we've gotten very, very off topic. I feel like there was a lot of things we wanted to say. I don't know much of it we've actually said, but I could see her booking a couple of roles, getting something out of the way, scratching that itch, because, you know, Eric brought up earlier about her entertaining the idea of an offer from Tony because lighter schedule.
Yeah.
Can still see her family more. But honestly, I don't think she's at that point where she wants the lighter schedule.
I agree.
She likes wrestling constantly. She enjoys doing the house shows. She's, you know, trying to have matches on she's trying to have matches all the time. Like she could have won the title and not wrestled and then just dropped it to Liv. She wrestled matches in between winning and dropping it to Liv because it's just the type of person she is and that the kind of wrestler she is. So I don't know if that's going to be the factor that decides things, but I think it would be more she wants to challenge herself and wrestle a little bit of a different style and see how much of a difference she can truly make there after, you know, like she went to NXT, made a difference. Numbers were bumped up. So many more people saw how good Tiffany Stratton was. Not that Tiffany would have always been fine, but people knew immediately. And not just the weirdos who watch NXT religiously. No offense. It's an entertaining show. But, she got way more eyes on her. And to be honest, she got eyes on Lyra, who I don't think would have been as successful if Becky Lynch didn't show up there.
Completely agree.
Maybe that's a little bit of that Irish bias, but she put her over.
And it's not a knock on Lyra.
No.
It's not a knock. It wasn't even a knock on Tiffany, like you said. She was always good. It was just a whole new set of eyes are now on you. And I don't want to derail because I think you're on a good path with this. And I know I've been saying it jokingly. I don't think she would ever sign with TNA. But given the world we're now in, where WWE and TNA are crossing over, I wouldn't be shocked to see her pop up there.
Well, again, to reference the book that we're giving away to a lucky fan, which I thought Kevin was going to take it because that's the only reason they came here, but whatever. She did, TNA was always on her mind when she retired the first time. And she was like, if I come back, I could just go to TNA. They're doing good stuff with the women.
Yeah.
And a whole lot of it was, she mentioned very early on before she signed with WWE, how she looked at TNA as the place to go and the place she wanted to be more so than WWE. She wrote very early in the book, she wanted the main event WrestleMania. And that was a pipe dream early on because that was a different time and that was never going to happen at the time. So she wrestled in Japan a bit. She got her work in there. She enjoyed it. And she looked at TNA as the end-all be-all of places to go. Now, I don't see it as the case. I just think as much as TNA is on a good streak right now and has good favor with people, it just feels like too much of not a step down because I don't want to be mean to TNA, but
you're right. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you're right. But I think the reality too is, and I don't want to derail all this, but TNA's laid off so many executives this last week, and the big speculation is that they're going to be absorbed into TKO. They're going to join that grouping with WWE and UFC. And again, this is all speculation, but we're seeing there's no reason to be doing these crossovers if you're WWE, unless there is some business reason to be doing it. And if TNA is going to be a feeder to WWE, we've seen it before with companies like Evolve or I think it was Progress. So I the same way we are very much on the same page, she is sticking with WWE. I think this concept that there is a non-zero chance of her going to AEW, there is a non-zero chance of her popping up on a TNA screen, even if she doesn't sign that TNA contract.
Yeah, I see what you mean. But it just wouldn't be as exciting for me. But I honestly don't know what would be exciting for me at this point. So let her take the break. Like I was saying at one point or another earlier here on, she's aware. She knows when she's losing crowd favor, and she's not opposed to changing things up. And I've gone this whole podcast without throwing any shade at Charlotte. But at the nearly 50-minute mark, that's where I draw the line. Unlike Charlotte, she has evolved. I saw a very cool tweet that a fan made of just it was like a collage of the horsewomen and their evolution over the years. And picture wise, all the pictures are different. They have different looks or hairstyles or outfits on. But when actually looking at them, Charlotte's never, ever changed.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha hasn't changed that much. But Charlotte's never changed.
Yeah.
Bayley and Becky are the only ones who have actually changed over that time. Really, truly.
And they're the ones that the fans continuously go out for. Yeah. Not that Charlotte doesn't have her fans, not that Mercedes doesn't have her fans, because she does, but there's a reason Becky got pushed to the main event of WrestleMania. There's a reason that Bayley's had this journey that she's been on where the fans are really behind her right now.
Yeah.
And then there's a reason they pipe in the CEO for Mercedes on Dynamite.
And there's a reason they pipe in cheers for Charlotte.
Yeah.
Who is, not a natural face. But the point was,
You don't need to talk about her plastic surgery like that.
oh my god, nice one. That I try not to even go there because that's where I feel bad for the person, not the character.
Yeah. I thought that was a good burn.
It is a good burn. It was a good joke.
Yeah.
It's a really good joke.
With nothing behind it. With nothing behind it. I support.
RIP Evolve from Matt Cocoon in the comments. But like I said, she's not opposed to changing or evolving. We're just trying to challenge herself. So we can't truly rule anything out. But the thing is, no matter what, she's not going anywhere unless she gets that offer. And that's not like a truly a selfish thing.
Not at all.
She's earned it. 2, I've turned around on like athletes wanting more money than I used to be one of those people like shut up and play the game. But it's like the money is there.
Yeah.
Give it to the people who are earning it.
Exactly.
So yeah, like give it to her. 3, one of the whole reasons she wants this, and again, a big theme of the book was getting more opportunities for the women. And that's one reason I can see her. One of the reasons I could see the slight chance of her going to AEW is just to give the women more there.
Yeah.
Because that's what she's been about. So the money has to be there because, yeah, she's earned that. And I'm being genuine. And I shit on Charlotte all the time. She deserves more money than Charlotte.
Yeah.
She's going to wrestle more than Charlotte. Charlotte's making 7 figures for someone who literally wrestles for 4 months and then's gone for 8.
Yeah.
Every fucking year. She actually laid out the formula for Roman to follow. And she's only been injured like twice in that time. It's not like she's just injured all the time. She just takes time off all the time.
Yep.
So, this is a funny tweet.
This tweet.
This is a bad troll account, but this is a funny. I'll give him this one. This is a funny one. Why would I want Becky Lynch in AEW when it means I might not see someone like Lady Frost anymore?
I feel so bad. I like Lady Frost, but I get it. No,
you get it. You get the gist. It's nothing against Lady Frost.
Yeah.
Just like, any moronic AEW fans and they don't want her there, like they're out of their mind. Sorry, Nick Maniotis, but I like to get back to it. She's earned having the biggest contract in women's history, and to be honest, she's earned more money than Seth. The fuck. Main event of real WrestleMania, Seth, not night 1. Main event, just WrestleMania, flat out, or in this case, night 2. All right, buddy. Then you can come talk. Sorry, Bianca. Sorry, Sasha. Sorry, Sami Zayn. But
did Becky have the last Mania main event before it went to 2 nights?
No, the 30. No, Drew. No, 37 was 1 night still as well.
Okay.
So like Drew had it. Edge, Bryan, and Roman was the last.
Okay. Yeah.
Main event, I believe. No, is that right?
Yeah. No, it would be.
I don't know. Either way, it's not Becky because I know the pandemic one. Well, Drew's main event is also it's not disputed, but
it was seen by dozens and dozens of fans.
Not even that, it was seen by Big Show, like a cameraman, a referee, and like 2 people in the back. Because that was like strict. You have to have like I think it was 12 and under for a production. But I'll put this down because I'm on a roll. But I just can't imagine a world where she doesn't get that big money offer because, I think Mercedes has earned the right to also make more. Sorry to compare the horsewomen like this, but they're always going to be like,
they're always going to be connected.
The horsewoman, but like, I think she deserves to make more money than Charlotte as well because she was in The Mandalorian, and I don't watch that garbage, but a lot of people do watch that garbage. It's very popular garbage.
Star Wars hat.
I think that was the hope signing her was, okay, we get like an acting star and people are going to watch, and it just, but I do think ideally she gets more roles and it eventually brings people in.
I think so too.
Well, I'm not even saying for that reason. I'm just saying that, she's made herself more valuable.
There is a reason, like I know they're incorporating it into her character on TV, but there is a reason they're sending her to the basketball games. There is a reason that they have her on the talk shows and the podcasts. She did the modeling when she was gone. She did the acting when she was gone.
She sounds so old saying it like that. The modeling.
The modeling. Yeah. Right.
I know in context it makes sense.
But yeah, no, it was the wording. It was the wording. But she put, like we said, she put herself out there. She made her brand bigger. And maybe it's a weird thing. Like, if you're a wrestling fan, Stone Cold Steve Austin is bigger than The Rock. But if you're out of the wrestling bubble, The Rock is bigger than Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I'd say the same kind of applies with Mercedes. In the wrestling bubble, Charlotte and Becky, they're always going to be in that conversation with Mercedes. But out of the wrestling bubble, I think Mercedes has done great things for her brand to make her bigger.
You're saying in the wrestling bubble, Austin is bigger than The Rock?
In the wrestling bubble, yeah. Austin's absolutely 1A to Rock's 1B.
But if they both were to be on the show, the ratings are going to be higher still for The Rock, though.
I mean, maybe. Like, I know back then, especially, it's hard to say now because of what it turned into. But
then I know you meant now.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know. I think Austin would get a big bump. I think we're going to get to a point where Rock is going to be diminishing returns. And I say that as someone who was a Rock kid growing up, and I'm still a bigger Rock fan.
I don't think Austin's bringing in 1 million extra people like The Rock was, though.
I guess that's fair. But I also think that was the perfect storm. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah,
but
it's a whole other thing.
The perfect storm of mania.
Anyway, but like you were saying, Mercedes has done other things to make her brand more valuable. And, you know, I think Becky has too. She was in Billions. She was in Young Rock. And granted, Young Rock got canceled. I mean, I can't imagine it was good because it was a Rock production. So
it exists. It was like a candy coated, like a Lifetime kind of movie kind of thing.
If Dan Harmon made it, it would have been good. But you know, that's neither here nor there. But I just, like I said, there's been, I don't want to get all into this because I'm with two fucking movie nerds / people working in the industry. But you know, there's been reported interest from Marvel for years. Who doesn't Marvel have interest in? She's had deleted scenes in 2 different movies. So, like, you know, like there's always that. They have endless intellectual properties to put up there. There's not anyone on this app who watched this live and didn't think for a split second, no matter how impossible it was, that this was Becky Lynch. There's no way. Oh, when Jamie Hayter debuted? A little bit. I guess I could see that. But I could see this as a building brand for her to just do some stuff in the meantime, stuff that she would be more hesitant to do because of wrestling, and see how she likes it. But she's not done with wrestling. Even if she ends up taking like a year off, she's not done. It just feels weird how it kind of crept up on us, even though we knew it was coming. Like once it got closer, it was like, is this really the end? We're gonna go out in like a limp cage match with Liv. Like, okay. Like, I
think it was limp for you because you just don't care about Liv.
Well, I do care about Liv. I don't know what you're talking about. I just think she'd be perfect for the supposed women's mid-card title that's going to be introduced. But just mean like it was very unceremonious. Like it wasn't about her. Like Braun Strowman bumped into Dominic, who closed the cage door on her face by accident, and then Liv crawled out, and that was it. We didn't see Becky after that.
Yeah.
They didn't focus on her getting up or leaving.
I was watching that, trying to figure out how they, like, if she were to go back to WWE, how does whatever they just did there connect to whatever they're going to do when she
I don't think it will. I don't think it will.
And I don't think it would need to.
I mean, maybe she comes out, beats up Dominic, and then goes into an actual feud.
Well, she already did that, right? She punched
him in the face. I think harder than anyone ever hit him. Yeah. Like, genuinely, she really fucking connected with that punch. But
Dom living the dreams of so many men.
But ultimately, I wanted to bring this up earlier. We've gotten off the rails here somehow, which never happens to us. I don't know how it happened this time. But I will say, and this is, I'm gonna be a little conspiracy theorist over here, and I'm gonna throw some shade towards Hunter Hearst Helmsley, because I've said this in passing and I've meant it. I don't think Triple H fully respects Becky Lynch and the caliber of superstar that she is. She was never his pick person,
Yep.
probably his least favorite horsewoman, just a guess. I don't
Going
know.
all the way back to NXT.
Yeah.
She's the only one, like, she
Didn't-
needed to come back to win the NXT
Yeah,
title.
she didn't get the NXT title run. She was the extra horsewoman. And ever since he's taken over creative, I just feel like he hasn't given her the same respect. He's tried his best to revitalize Bailey.
Yeah.
Granted, Damage Control, I think, was a bust until almost the end.
But it was an attempt.
Yeah,
It was an attempt.
it was an attempt. It was a big attempt. Where Becker's kind of like, yeah, you're here, whatever. Here, team with the Legends at Mania. We're going to tease this rematch forever. And actually, you know, you're going to lose it. And got nothing for you. Here's your match bump from SummerSlam. No, we weren't building for a SummerSlam match. We never said SummerSlam, did we? Like, oh yeah, this feud that started after Mania and went on for months. Why would we think it's going to end at SummerSlam? That's on us. Yeah, we're the idiots there. You really got us there. We weren't making lemonade. There was no lemons. Get out of here, bro. That was the best selling shirt, by the way, for that time period. But you know, I just think he doesn't treat her like
Star she is.
yeah, and I like that's me being a little bit of a fanboy, but I do think there's something there. He doesn't treat her with the reverence I think he's treated Charlotte. I don't think he has given her the love he's given Bailey. And I don't know. Part of me I just feel that way. I feel like there's something there. What do you think?
I don't disagree with you. And it's like I said, and we just discussed, she never got the love in her initial NXT run. She is I don't think Triple H is Vince in the sense that he resents when people get themselves over, but she got herself over, you know, like the fans loved her and she wasn't ever really part of those big plans that they had.
Yeah.
And of course they were a lot, more receptive to her than they were other people that got pushed down their throats.
Yeah, I was going to say, to be fair to Vince, on this one thing and only this one thing, he went with it, and then he kept going. Vince McMahon booked Becky Lynch better than Triple H did, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because you can't say that about a lot of people, but continue. Sorry.
So I think he knows what he has with her because he is good with recognizing what the fans want. I just don't think he knows how to make that work with his plans. I think he's more focused on what's next. I feel like he feels that he owed Bailey because they never really hit that potential with her. But that's why we're seeing people who never really peaking right now. Nia Jax never really peaked before. She had high moments, but it was never anything memorable. She's now the queen of the ring.
Saying my hole wasn't memorable.
All right, you got me there. I got nothing witty on that one. You're right. Liv, clearly, right now, the biggest she's ever been and probably the biggest she'll ever be.
I think she was bigger in 2022 when she won Money in the Bank. It just all plummeted after that.
And I think now we're going to get a sustained Liv moment.
I think once she loses the title, it's right back to the tag division.
I think it's it's to the mid-card title.
Well, yeah, maybe. If the title actually shows up, we'll see.
And I think he thinks Becky got everything she needs. That's why I know I sound like this broken record. I think that's why that possibility of the WWE TNA crossover feels like it's almost going to be perfect for Becky, that she's going to go there and be a champion and carry him the same way AEW allows these guys to carry belts from different promotions. That way they have something shiny to walk around with. I think she's going to have a shiny toy that's not going to mean anything for WWE, but Becky still gets to say she's champion.
I was just going to say what I said yesterday. They did that with NXT. And how long did that last for?
It lasted, but you were completely wrong in your assessment of it, but it lasted for only a month. And in that month, NXT's numbers went up.
Yeah.
She wrestled on Raw with it, got
Danny covered NXT for that
Tegan,
month.
got Tegan Knox steady TV time. And this is what I mean, like, just as an example, we're going to use Tegan Knox.
Yep.
Someone who just never really gotten a fair shake of it and will never get a fair shake of it at this point. But she demanded a match with Tegan Knox. She wanted to defend the NXT Women's title as a mid-card title to show that there could be a mid-card title. And look at that. A year later, less than a year later, we're supposedly going to get one. So she kind of gave them the formula for that. Yep. But she used that. And then what happened? Tegan Knox was on TV. Of course, she gets no reactions because why would the crowd care? Because who the fuck is this? Like, if you watched NXT back in the day, you loved the feud between her and Dakota Kai. I did too. I was just on Team Kai. But
fair.
Hey, Tegan Knox is her favorite wrestler is Kane, and that was my favorite wrestler as a child. The wrestler, not the human being. They're different people.
We prefer the man who sets people on fire and electrocutes testicles.
Absolutely.
He's a better person.
Hello, Hassan. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry. But hello.
Hi there.
But Tegan Knox got on TV and then entered a story with Natalya, which granted, that sounds like hell, but she was on TV every week. She started wrestling Natalya, started teaming with Natalya. And that's actually the Triple H formula, which I'm going to use Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa as an example. We love them, but they come up to the main roster, and Johnny Gargano's case comes back from being a free agent. The crowd just doesn't really care.
Yeah.
They have no reason to care. And we made fun of him for it. But what did Triple H do? We kept putting him on TV every single week, giving them time. So now people kind of care. They get reactions during their matches.
I'm not going to go to the bathroom now.
Yeah, exactly. I still will. But like people aren't doing it. But now there's a more opportune time because less people are going because they're more invested.
Yeah.
But it works. And he was doing that with Tegan, but because it's the women's division, he gave up on it easier because Triple H, who revitalized women's wrestling, booking NXT in WWE anyway, hasn't done it since taking over the main roster. He's really fumbled with that, and that's another criticism I hold to this day of Triple H. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's a fact. Nothing to tweet, but no, I don't mean in a bad way. Just like I'm not going to stop to address it.
Boy.
What?
It was nothing. Tweet. Why'd you bring this up?
Oh no, not like that.
It was saying that Bailey is the only one that's on the active roster. Right?
Yeah,
no, I thought you did a great job.
No, it's a fine tweet. It's just not worth derailing
not
the
worth
conversation.
Talking about it, Eric. Come on.
Stop talking about it, Eric. Please. Point is,
you don't have to bring up the tweets I bring up. They're just there as video.
Well, we got to do it for the audio crowd.
Fuck them.
Yeah, I agree. Fuck them. Watch the video. Come on. You can listen to the video. Like I do that all the time.
If you have YouTube Premium, you can listen to the video.
Like and subscribe, by the way. Like and subscribe and comment if you want to win that Becky Lynch autographed autobiography.
Yeah. But anyway, the point is with Tegan Knox, she was on TV for about 3 months because of Becky Lynch. Literally 100% solely because Becky Lynch was like, I want to wrestle her. I want to use this as an opportunity to get people on TV. She got Indy Hartwell on TV.
Yep.
Unfortunately, she got Natalya on TV. Like I said, she got more eyes on Tiffany, more eyes on Lyra. So, like, that's why I jumped down your throat when you mentioned the NXT run, because in every single way possible, it was a success.
Yeah.
It was 100% a success. It did exactly what we needed it to do. And like I said, we're probably going to get a women's mid-card title now because of it. And it got more people on TV. And that's all Becky really wants to do. She's like, that's why, like, when she won the title and all the Becky Hogan memes started coming around, I'm just like, some of these are kind of funny, but it's like, you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
Or you just don't get how things work, because all she really wants to do is give the other woman more opportunities. She's not Charlotte. They're so different in so many ways. Like, she makes people better where Charlotte doesn't. So, would that be the same if they did it with TNA? I don't know.
It's like I said before, though, it entirely depends on what TNA's future is. If they become WWE's feeder system, having that megastar there, it makes people say, well, I got to pay attention to TNA for the future of WWE.
That's fair.
TNA will feed into NXT. NXT will feed into the main roster. So it's just a chain. So if you send Becky there, I think you're just planting the seeds for the future, which is what I think Becky, like what you're arguing, right? Not arguing, but what you're saying right now, it's what Becky's hoping to do and what she's aiming to do. That's the only reason. I don't think it's anything in terms of Becky Lynch wants to be in TNA. Becky Lynch is going to make TNA a viable product to watch. It's just, this is where the company's going. this is what we're leading to. And if we have a name help solidify things, everybody wins for WWE. I know we talked about it in privately in our chat. In 2 weeks, TNA has their pay-per-view against all odds, and the TNA Knockouts champion is Jordan Grace, who we just saw on WWE TV this week on NXT as she's challenging the NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez, and she's got an open challenge that's going to be at the pay-per-view. And almost everyone is on the same page that it's probably going to be a WWE star.
Specifically, it's going to be Natalya.
The only other person I think it could be is Chelsea Green because of her connection to TNA. But yes, it's probably going to be Natalya. And that's going to do the little bump that Natalya is going to give to TNA, or to Jordan Grace, I should say, of Jordan Grace being able to say she pinned a former WWE Women's Champion. Just extrapolate that with Becky Lynch and what she could do for who, like what she did for Tiffany Stratton,
Isn't
what she did for
Natalya's
Lyra.
contract up?
I
Yes.
believe you, but who the hell knows?
Cares is, I think, the word you actually meant to say, because like it's just
She's going to
Natalya.
be like the loveliest podcast guest for us one day.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'll probably, because I'll just talk to her about cats and I'll be like,
Yeah.
you're all right, Natalya. But you know, sorry, you give me major pick me girl energy. I don't know if I'm using that right, but I don't know. Look, Natalya, I'm gonna treat you no different than I treat some of the guys. You've been there too long. I don't want to see Miz anymore. I don't want to see, as much as I used to love him, I didn't really want to see Dolph anymore. You know, like, and you're in that same boat. You're in that boat.
Dolph, who ran away from WWE to TNA, and
For it
now,
to
right, he's in WWE's feeder now. Maybe he'll get back to NXT.
They're gonna fire him again. Oh man, it's funny. It's weird times we're living in. But how much more? Do you have anything else on the Becky Lynch situation?
Well, my question for you: how long is it going to take before you miss her? Like, I know you want to see her on TV every week, but how long is it going to take for you to be like, wow, I really wish Becky was on TV right now?
I mean, well, jokingly, immediately, there's no more Raw reviews until she comes back, because what the fuck? I've like all the people I care about are gone. Like, Cody's on SmackDown, Seth is injured, Becky's gone, fucking Rhea's out. Like,
You got Jey Uso.
You got Gable
I know, he is
All right,
literally
Gable
the last
for the next 3 days.
For the next, yeah. So, you know, Raw review's done for now.
Where are you going to hop up on the pod now? What show are you taking over?
This is Sundays thing.
Sundays.
I planned this ahead of time for this to take over, because I'm too tired on
Sundays
Mondays.
will be the news rumors.
Or it'll be whatever subject I want. I want to do a Money in the Bank likelihood thing where I'm just going to shit on people for a lot of it.
Like WWE to their winners of Money in the Bank.
Yeah. But I think genuinely pretty soon, like by SummerSlam for sure. I just can't. I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty soon, but I think I can make it to SummerSlam. But then that post SummerSlam, not lull, because it hasn't been too bad the past few years, because they usually have a story that's building the War Games by then. It's around War Games because she's, I guess, synonymous with the women's War Games matches. What about you? Or do you have a follow-up question you want to ask?
Well, it's a second question. It's not really follow-up, but I'll answer, I guess, my question. I'm going to miss her by SummerSlam for sure. I think there's a significant lack of, in that meaningless tweet that producer boy pulled up about Bailey. It makes me realize just there are people I care about, but in terms of star power on the women's roster right now, it's not really there.
It's Bailey, Bianca, Jade.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Sorry to all the Naomi fans out there. She's not the big three is not a thing. It's just Bianca
Again,
and
someone
Jade.
I like, but do I care that much? No, not really.
No, by the way, you should have stayed in TNA. You would have been back in WWE regardless. Just saying. And you wouldn't have eaten so many pins already.
Yep.
But
she lost twice in TNA. When she lost the title and then the rematch.
Yep. But you wanted to go back. Crazy.
Yep.
But anyway, okay. No, that's fair. I agree, because it's just, look, I don't like her, but Charlotte's gone.
Yeah.
She does have some star power for about 3 weeks. Rhea's gone. She's the only person that's going to surpass all the horsewomen.
Yeah.
Like truly, Bianca also is going to surpass them, but like Bianca's going to have the crowd turn on her real soon. So like that's coming. We've gone longer than expected, but it'll catch up eventually. Whereas Rhea's reached like another stratosphere where like I think people who don't watch are going to start knowing who that is.
Yeah.
But you know, like they're the only true successors to the horsewoman. Like Liv's not on that level. Like she's upper mid card, which is great. Like she's close. She's something. Like, you know, but I'm saying like
in terms of what quality, by the way, like getting over or like importance?
Everything, I guess.
Because
honestly,
once upon a time, I had Asuka on the same level as the horsewomen. I don't know if that's still true though.
I don't think she is, but I mean, she's as good as any of them.
Yeah.
Like no one's. That's the thing is like when we put them on, the horsewomen are on another level, not just because of how good they are, but because of just everything surrounding them. There's so much context that it's like Bianca's never going to make a difference the way the horsewomen made a difference, but that's not really her fault. They're in a better place where like what more of a difference can be made.
Bianca wasn't needed for the roster while the four horsemen were needed to make the roster what it is now.
Yeah.
Bianca's a star and there's a reason she main evented WrestleMania, but she can't revolutionize the she can't.
Sorry, it's just a night one thing. Night one's not the real main event.
She can't revolutionize the roster the way the four horsewomen did.
Yeah. So like they are always going to be on another level that way. But Rhea's the only one who I think is kind of doing that sort of thing where she's taking things to another level.
Yeah.
Where she's the leader of a male faction. You know, like she's crossing over. Granted, a lot of it's because of their sweets, but
no way.
Ronda comeback doesn't. Yeah, I don't think so. I think she burned a lot of bridges.
I do think it would be interesting if Becky did go to AEW and Ronda was there.
I would,
and they could finally.
I think that would be the only way they can make the match kind of interesting now, because that's funny because
she followed her over there because you know, that could be the story.
Yeah,
I came to get you or some, you know.
Because hey, Ronda is a weird person. She's just weird. It's a weird person, but someone who has. You can have bad opinions. That doesn't make all your opinions wrong.
Yeah.
So like Ronda did bring up some interesting stuff in her book. I didn't read it, but you know the quotes get around. She knew the match should have been her and Becky. In Becky's book, she just said, "I don't care, I'm winning, so it's fine, Charlotte." But like Ronda was like, "It should have just been me and Becky, and we should have done that match when I came back the second time."
Yeah.
But we didn't do it.
She was promised
and the
it,
moment
wasn't she?
was too late.
The second run around,
Well,
like she was
not
told
she was like
going to
promise,
get it.
but it was like, yeah, it's like you're gonna do Charlotte this year and then Becky next year, and then it just didn't happen because they both were like, well, we missed the boat. Like,
yeah,
Becky was very candid about it, like, well, the moment's passed. We should have done it, but the moment's passed. I don't think we can reheat it. Never say never, but you know we can't do it. But if it was in a different company, that's a whole other story. I think that's a way.
I think that's the one money match Ronda can have at this point. I mean, maybe with Rhea if she were to go back to WWE, but like I don't think Ronda's a needle mover. Like she was when she debuted, but she wasn't by the end by any stretch. But I think the one thing that would make people be like, I need to watch this match with her is Becky. And I think no matter where you have it, people.
JL says, strange how they gave Becky the world title considering her contract was coming to an end. And on paper, yes, in a vacuum, but like they trust her.
Exactly.
Like
it's all about trust. They know she's a star. They know she does things the right way.
Yeah.
And she's not going to screw them over.
And that was done for Liv because it's better for Liv to beat a credible star than to win the title in a battle royal.
I'm going to bring up someone you don't like at all, but it's very reminiscent. Even going down to the cage match being the last match between Jeff Hardy and CM Punk back in like 2009.
Yeah.
That Jeff was this close. His contract was over.
What are you talking about?
I walked into that one. Jeff's contract was this close to being done. They had the world title on him because he was still super popular. And then they knew he was leaving. He knew he was leaving. He traded the title back and forth with Punk for a little bit. And then Punk sent him packing.
Well, I get what you mean, but that's a way bigger risk. Just Jeff Hardy's like genuinely, not even to throw shade, but like the point stands though.
Yeah.
So I get what you mean.
But I think the idea was maybe they didn't trust Jeff Hardy's real life decisions, but they didn't think Jeff would screw them over, which is why they had the faith to put the title on him, despite the contract being up.
Yeah, well, if it was nowadays, I don't know.
Oh yeah, not anymore, but back then.
But yeah, absolutely. So I don't think it was that weird. I just wish they had like a handshake deal and she stayed on for a couple extra weeks to have more matches, because I wish it was just a little bit longer. I feel like, I don't know. I'm a little down on Liv, but not like truly down. Like, just like it feels like a step down after Rhea, like, you know, but it's hard. It's hard to follow that. So she at least had the buffer of Becky in between, but I just genuinely believe she wouldn't be champion if Rhea didn't get hurt.
Oh, I mean, I completely agree on that.
I don't think she was ever going to win that title. So, like, good for her. Hopefully she makes the most of this. I
don't know. I think Dom would have played out differently.
Yeah, I do think they were setting the seeds for something happening that maybe it probably wasn't going to happen this soon. It probably was going to happen whenever they actually do all turn on each other or whatever they're going to do.
I think the turn was going to happen if Rhea didn't get hurt. I think it would have happened already. I think we would have already. I think Braun is a placeholder for Priest. I think we would have already been doing Priest versus Finn if Rhea was still around.
I don't know.
Maybe. I mean,
I think
the Judgment Day has been splitting for a year and a half, so like you can't truly ever pinpoint when it's actually going to happen.
So my question then: if Rhea didn't get hurt, was the last time we see Becky Mania?
Yeah,
I think so. Because she would have Seth's hurt.
Yeah,
she would have just been with him for however many months, and she would have came back for.
That would have been a bummer. Like, I'm glad that. I mean, I'm not glad Rhea got hurt, but I'm glad things played out the way they did for Becky.
I mean, I'm glad we got to see her holding the new the new belt, because the belt's really grown on me.
Yeah.
Or it's the women's version. I genuinely think the women's versions of these belts are actually good, whereas the men's are like,
it's the white strap.
It is the white strap. 100%. It's the white strap. It's so much better. White straps are apparently amazing. I didn't realize it. I realized that when Cody brought back the old, like, had the coolest IC title design, or one of. It's hard to think there's been too many to pick a winner.
I don't think there's ever been a bad IC design.
Yeah, there just hasn't been like great ones.
Yeah.
But never a bad one. But I'm glad we got that. But I wish, I don't know, like, because for me, I had all these ideas in my head, like, oh, they brought over Damage Control. Becky loves wrestling, the Japanese girls.
Yeah.
She loves Asuka. She loves Kairi. Protected Kairi in that tag match where Kairi got hurt.
Charlotte.
Just saying.
Is there a world where she just
shows up tomorrow?
She signs up for like a one-off. She's like, "Hey, Triple H, I'm gonna do Forbidden Door," and then I'm gonna come back.
You hurt your own contract by doing that.
That's what Jericho was like. I'm just gonna do Wrestle Kingdom, and that's it.
Does it hurt you? Because if she has a blast over there, it's like.
I mean, it hurts you if you're trying to stick with WWE, because if you do Forbidden Door, and unless or whatever event. If you do whatever event and that doesn't move mountains, like if that doesn't give you the best ratings for whatever show you're on, like if you're an AEW, if you don't draw 1 million, why am I paying you if I'm WWE?
I see what you're saying.
And is that fair? No, but it's the reality.
I will say if she does it on a pay-per-view, the likelihood of the numbers going up are more likely because AEW pay-per-view numbers are always good.
Yeah.
So if her name is attached, and it's her first match, more likely it's going to go up. So there's really no way to gauge.
Yeah, it's tough.
Her benefit. So I think either way, they would probably, the offers would still be on the table for her.
I don't think she's ever going to get a bad deal.
Yeah.
But is she going to get the #1 deal? Like I
think that's also another thing. I think regardless, she's still going to be a bigger name than Mercedes. She's still going to get paid more than her. Either way, she's going to be like, Mercedes is over there making this much money. You need to pay me at least that, or if not more.
Yeah.
Regardless of if I.
You pay me that +1.
Like, literally, that's it. Like, I don't care if the numbers didn't move that I wasn't there. She's making more than me. Yeah. I'm more popular than her. I need to make more than her regardless of what the situation is.
Yeah. And I do think, even going back to WWE, we were just saying how Triple H doesn't really value her. I do think he not that it's really up to him. He's not hiring anybody, but I think they are good enough with their business sense to know even that one-off, they're not going to burn a bridge because you decided to play with the other team for a day.
Yeah.
So
I guess I didn't take any of the people who jump ship. JSA and Sasha were under credibility. That's a
too early
thing.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but time will tell.
Yeah.
Like Cody, for example, or Sasha. I think Cody ruined himself in AEW. No one. That's not an AEW's. Not in the slightest AEW's fault. That was Cody and Cody alone. But we're not going to get into that. That's a whole nother rabbit hole. I will. I will say, I forgot what I was going to say now because of that. Thanks a lot, Jay. All good, though. All good.
We
But
forgive you.
I just don't. I don't see a world where she doesn't get the number.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna kill a mosquito.
There you go.
Look at that with a flick. You got that motherfucker.
No,
Sorry, James, stole from me.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Would you? I think I know the answer, but it should be said. Would you watch her no matter where she went?
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
would you tune into AEW? Because I know you're not really watching as much.
I mean, I am just not. Yeah, not as much, but
Yeah.
I am still watching.
Would you take our YouTube subscription to watch TNA if she showed up?
Absolutely, 100%. Look, genuinely, I know I'm a fanboy, and I'm fine with that because it's a weird thing where I feel like I get made fun of for that, but it's like when I was a fanboy for Dan O'Brien, who the fuck's making fun of that? Everyone's on board.
Exactly.
That is that subconscious. Like, I'm not gonna get all fucking woke about shit, but like that is a subconscious thing that people need to start checking themselves for. But as we had our very sexist friend on the pod earlier, but I genuinely, and the reason is it's just someone that makes me care.
Yeah,
like
I think that's fair.
Usually I can just watch and like it's fine, you know. But the people who actually make me care about the outcome, and not from like an analytical perspective, all that person should have won. Just I want that person to win.
Yeah.
Brian was that for me.
Yeah.
Still is, but Brian is unfortunately the way he is.
Yeah.
But like Brian was that for me. When I was a kid, Kane was that for me. Sting was that for me. Becky's that for me now, for the past 6 years. And to I guess to go more further back, just looking at it, like when we were all in love with NXT, for whatever reason, I was just like, I like that person. There in Brooklyn, I cried. Proud to say that shit was beautiful. One is still maybe the favorite match I've ever been to live. The only one that gives it true competition, maybe Kenny Bryan.
Okay,
it's tough. Even the Shield versus Team Hell No and Ryback, just being there for that first Shield match, that was special.
Yeah,
but
also Shield and Evolution was pretty cool too.
I wasn't there for that though. I wasn't in person for that.
Eric with the sucks to suck, buddy.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm so sorry to get the champ Blue Tista at the guy, but it's tough to say. But Becky was that. I remember going to SmackDown in 2017. For some reason, they had a SmackDown in Barclays. It felt like the only time. This was when Raw was still the A show.
Yeah.
But I remember going to SmackDown with my friend Joey. And I was waiting for him outside of Barclays Center, and they had the merch stand outside. And I was looking around. I was like, oh, they got the Becky Lynch goggles. I was like, I'm going to buy those. I was like, cool. And then she wasn't advertising for the show because this is 2017. They don't advertise that much for the women, even though things are better. And she was on the show. She seemed like Naomi or something. They won or whatever in a tag match. But I was like, oh, cool. I bought her merch. I was like, and she was on the show. I was like, yeah, this is my horsewoman. It's at that point, you had to pick. I feel like everyone loved Bayley, and Charlotte was just the one who was like, of course, it's Charlotte. It's you can't deny it. You have to just get with the program. And we all accepted it. Charlotte was never anyone's favorite, but we all liked her, and we all liked the idea of a woman getting this major push. Yeah. So that was the sentiment, but she was never the most over at any point in history. Was more over than the other three horsewomen. And I think that's borderline undeniable. I'm sure you could find if they're in Charlotte, she's going to get a big pop. Sure.
There were points where she wasn't number 4.
Yeah.
There were points where she wasn't number 4, but I don't think there was ever a point where she was number 1.
No, absolutely not. And that's no shade on her. It's just the other three were so much more beloved. And she was just the one that was always going to be pushed the most. And people used to not mind it until people started to mind it.
Until we got it. Yeah.
And for me, it was in 2017, which is just slightly ahead of the curve. But I just had, anyways, to get back to the point was that I've just had that for Becky for so long. So then when it's the person you like, and then they get that Dan O'Brien, I'm very spoiled that I liked Dan O'Brien a lot before the Yes Movement, and then the Yes Movement happened. I liked Becky a lot before the Man, and then that happened. I'm very fortunate. Whereas for someone like Punk, I liked Punk, but I didn't love Punk. Like he was my guy where I was like, that guy's really good. I want him to get more. I want him to become world champion and stuff. But it wasn't like the way Brian was like my
I'm the
fucking
same way.
guy. You know, like Punk's still one of my all-time favorites. For me, he's always going to be
You like him even more now after everything.
I mean, this return has really made me like Drew McIntyre, but like, you know, that's a whole nother conversation that we can have. But so it's really cool when that person you like has that. So yeah. But because of that, it's made me a little more biased. So maybe I get a little defensive over her and a little more like you defend your favorites.
Yeah,
like, you care. Like if you watch other sports, like, you know, you're
talking to a Jeff Hardy fan.
Yeah.
You're like, come on, I get it. There is that it factor when it comes to being a fan of someone. And thankfully, we're lucky with the guys that we like. You mentioned Brian. I've been a Brian guy, since before the Yes Movement. And then there are other guys, like my horsewoman is Mercedes. That's been
I would have never guessed that, honestly.
Shocking,
it doesn't
right?
show.
Yeah, no, she is my favorite of the four. She's always been my favorite of the four.
I would have guessed Bailey.
I feel like I always understood Bailey. You know what? All right. The reason Bailey's like number 2 or 3 for me is because I had one of those I'm a hugger shirts. And I won't lie to you guys. It was the purple one that it was like, it looked stretched. And I was out way too many times with that shirt where people thought hugger was a different word. And I think I resent Bailey for it.
Okay. Wow.
I think I resent Bailey for
Bailey
it.
right here. Okay.
Yeah.
Now's the time.
But in all seriousness, I love Mercedes. I love her ring work. I love when she's a heel. I love her character. But it's a rocky road with her. She never won anything in WWE, or she did. She lost it immediately after.
That made no sense.
Never did. But there are those guys that we like no matter what. We're going to defend. Like, I will watch a Kenny Omega match no matter what.
Yeah.
I will watch a Bryan Danielson match no matter what. You would watch a Becky match no matter what.
Yeah.
So we're lucky in that regard. But
bro, if Kane came back, I'm watching that match. I don't care, bro. Glenn Jacobs can fucking get hit by a bus, but Kane wrestles.
It has to be masked.
It has to be masked. I will defend maskless Kane till the cows come home. I don't care.
Likewise. Dude, 2003 maskless Kane. Yeah. Kane,
I don't care. Kane jumping off the top rope for a clothesline is better than 50% of wrestling still to me. That move
Kane exiting the ring. I was watching videos of that yesterday.
Epic.
Kane did everything well. He was so good.
He was a better taker.
Yeah, he really was.
For a brief time, he was a better taker. Taker got better at the end, but he was
Kane
a better
didn't get
taker.
chances to have fucking 25-minute matches with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. So, you know, it's tough to say, but like everything, Kane never did anything badly. So like I've been meaning to address this comment for a while. Ethan Kelly, are you Arab? No, but I get that a lot. I've had my bag checked by police at train stations quite a few
First
times.
of all, that was very clearly for me.
I think that was for me.
I don't know.
I get it all the time.
He didn't specify.
I feel like has anyone ever asked you that?
No, but that's why I was kind of excited for
Arabic people ask me that.
I guess it could be either of you in this.
Yeah, you do have to be. Maybe it's because you have the hat on. Because without the hat, I don't think.
Also, the lighting makes you guys seem a lot.
What?
Yeah, watch your words. What are you gonna say?
You guys look great.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we got good save.
Yeah, this dingy garage lighting is doing wonders for us. But yeah, I'm sorry. I did want to address that comment, but to get back into it, yeah, you just you kind of what was your original question? Let me down that rabbit hole.
Would you watch her no matter where she was?
Yeah. So ultimately, I would. It'd be harder if she went to Japan because of the time difference and me being very bad at staying awake.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would, because there are just those people who are those people for me. And like I said, she's one of the ones where I care about the result. I get that. How rare is it where you? And this is I'm gonna sound so lame and so cringy right now, but like, it's so rare as adults watching wrestling to still get that feeling like in your gut of like, oh my God, is this actually gonna happen? And it's like, you know, I think we all felt it Money in the Bank 2011. Like that's one of those ones where we're on the edge of our seat invested, and like we could feel it in our guts. You get that that feeling in your stomach.
Edge cashing in.
That's a good one.
Not all of us, let me tell you. Some of us were crying.
I was crying for different reasons.
But
You know?
no, I get it. Like the Yes Movement,
Yeah.
Kofi Mania, like those moments that it's like,
Yeah.
is this actually going to happen? Is this real? I'm
Lesnar-
invested.
Lesnar's
Right.
return was a big one for
Well,
me.
we get those for moments.
Yeah.
But like it's a lot rarer for us to have it for just the individuals.
Yeah.
And like for Becky, I still have that. For Brian, I still have it.
I
That's
do
why
too.
sometimes it's hard to watch his matches in AEW because I know he's gonna fucking lose.
Yeah.
But like, you know, like when we were all the three of us in this room right now, we were all together at a Revolution for MJF versus Brian in the Iron Man match. And when they went to overtime and Brian hit that running knee, I came off the couch. I think we all kind of sat up or got up. I know I got up.
Yeah.
Like, oh fuck, he might actually. It was such a good near fall, which is hard to do in AEW because they kick out of a lot of stuff. But like that one was the one where I was like, I had that feeling, and then when MJF won, that feeling, you know, it fucking sank, and it felt bad. And it's like I love MJF, and I wanted him really to still be champion, and I expected him to win. But because Brian's one of those people for me,
Yep.
like I felt that, and it took a while for it to go away until we started like really reviewing it, the show where it's like that feeling finally left. So like it's nice to have those people. So like for me, it's like I try to hold on to that for as long as possible. So like, you know, I've lost that with Punk to a degree, where I'm glad he's still around and I enjoy his segments, but like I don't care if he wins or loses now anymore.
Yeah.
But like I still have that with Brian, I still have that with Becky. If Cam was still wrestling, I'd have it a little bit, still kind of be there. So like I would watch wherever she goes. I don't know about you. I think you would because you're more likely to watch other stuff than me, and
but I would
it's
watch
easier
for her.
Yeah,
I would watch for her. Like
Yeah.
no matter where she went, I would be excited to see her. Not just, oh, I'm watching this show anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Producer Boy would watch and then be like,
why did they do it that
yeah,
way?
why did they do that? I can't believe they did that. She made a mistake.
MLW.
No matter what she does, Producer Boy's gonna be like, wow, that was a mistake. Shouldn't have done that.
Well, they're gonna have her come out in like a t-shirt and hoodie, and nobody's gonna.
The way she wrestles now. Like she wrestles in a t-shirt now.
Is this Becky?
Yeah.
She doesn't?
She comes out, she's wrestled in a t-shirt before.
Like a couple times.
It's not her main gear, like, but she's definitely done it before.
In Saudi Arabia, yeah, like there's not a choice.
I don't know what the hell she was wearing for Saudi Arabia. That was
It was
I don't think that's on any of them.
I mean, they were both doing a Britney
I mean-
Spears homage, and that's fine. Yeah, they both were dressed as Britney Spears from different performances.
like
but
Liv's outfit. I was like, oh, I could see her wearing that outside of this segment, but
Becky's, yeah, no.
Becky, I don't know what the.
I mean, she's worn some suits before, but like, you know, she wrestled like when she was the man, she wrestled in the man shirt a couple times, but that's just to sell some fucking
promotion,
t-shirts.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't. Ultimately, we don't see her ending up anywhere else, and this has been a nearly 2-hour discussion where we never really fully went into it. But I think
Where we said very little.
yeah, I think we said a lot just in different chunks.
Yeah.
We did get hijacked for a little bit, so that's understandable. But
Where did that guy work again?
he worked for Allied Universal as a security guard.
I'll pull it up.
I can't tell you his
giant bleep with a
specific posts.
Universal.
Don't worry, I won't dox his full name or anything. Which, to be honest with you, I was mostly worried about him saying my address because he's almost doxed me before in the chat. Because he didn't get that when I do it, like I'm not given the actual information, which I hate to be honest with you guys, because why the fuck would I want to do that? But like when I put James's phone number or address or say it on the show, it's not his actual phone number or address.
I sell it for you every time.
I know. And then Kevin was like, "Oh, it actually like went to put my address, and I had to like ban him from the chat." So I was like, "Bro, you don't get how this works, bro. Like, you how are you?" And Producer Boy wants to start.
Really?
Yeah, he loves
Not wrestling.
No, I figured,
Not
but
wrestling related.
but what?
We had a couple of
mostly movie stuff,
well,
which is funny for me to be on it. But
they want to do movie stuff, and I wanted to do board game.
yeah, which
That'd be fun.
no, he has a good idea where it's like the podcast isn't about board games, but we're playing board games while
Yeah.
talking about whatever the
Yeah.
topic is for the
I
episode.
think that's a great idea.
I think it's a great idea too. I just think, look how much we struggle for this podcast.
Yeah,
I think
no,
we should start
absolutely.
another podcast.
God bless. Good luck.
Come on. But anyway, sorry. Point is, let's just all right now, right off the bat, we all think she's coming back to WWE, right?
WWE, absolutely.
Producer boy.
AEW.
Is that genuine, or are you just saying that for the lulz?
I'm saying it for the lows, but my hope is that she goes to AEW.
You hope she does, really.
I think that's my hope too, actually. Just because it's different. But I'm going to be happy with WWE too.
I would care more about her if she went to AEW, just because I feel like she's done it all. So when she's on my TV, it's not like a Kenny Omega where I'm like, okay, he's done everything. I don't need to watch this match. I know he's going to be extremely entertaining. Not that she's not, but I just think
to go like with another sport. Like, do you see the value in like a Derek Jeter, somebody who's like a franchise player, like that's their team beginning to end, or do you care more about like? I mean, it's hard with baseball because it's something different, but
I get it. But
like that
like
idea,
you could say like The Rock is a franchise player, and I would rather see him than
in AEW.
I can't say that.
I mean, although that would be.
I wish John Cena. If John Cena went to AEW, I'd be a fan immediately.
We'd finally see him as a heel.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do it even there.
I would just.
They would force it. They'd have to.
Yeah, John Cena, who has no clout whatsoever.
Imagine
you're going to be a heel.
Imagine they get the right to his music because it's his song, I guess.
Yeah.
Imagine it starts playing, the crowd fucking pops like crazy. They go wild, and then as soon as the lyrics kick in, John Cena sucks.
Yeah.
They're just like, nope, we haven't forgotten anything. We know this is a big deal, but we're still gonna treat you the same way.
And realistically, it's not even Cena coming out; it's just Max Caster fucking with us.
Oh my god! Hey, Cena's already admitted Max Caster's a better rapper, so
yeah,
he's not delusional. But okay, producer boy says AEW because it would be interesting. I'd be interested too. It's just I wish AEW was in a better spot. I think they're on their way, but
do you think she'd have the ability to put them in a better spot? Because I mentioned a bunch of names before,
yes.
like Mercedes and Osprey and Okada.
Genuinely, yes, because she is a difference maker. I think with both her and Mercedes, you have people who are like, I'm getting time no matter what, and not in a Hulk Hogan way, not in a Chris Jericho way, but in a I want this time because then other women will be there with me. So if you have two people who you have to have every week on TV, I don't see how that's not just a net positive for the entire women's division and company.
And I do think, just to your point, actually about that, despite the ratings, AEW's women's roster and their booking is a lot better right now.
Absolutely,
like we're getting multiple women's segments a week on the same show.
Team Statlander.
A lot of that apparently has to do with Mercedes. And Jennifer, whatever, Peppermint.
Well, Peppermint's just doing Mercedes stuff, but like all the other stuff's not.
I don't know.
Is that like, someone backstage?
I think
that's like her writer.
Oh, gotcha.
I think she's writing for the women. I could be wrong.
That's why Mercedes stuff seems very WWE like.
Yeah,
because she
in a good or a bad way.
Who I've worked with before. Very nice lady.
Mercedes?
No. Yeah.
Jennifer Peppermint. Shout out JP.
We would never have heard the end of it.
We'll try to get her on the pod.
All right, that's good.
That would actually be awesome.
But because like the Statlander Willow stuff has been going on for a long time. That's been a long-term story in AEW, something they never do according to Twitter, but that's been a story for a long time. And I'm not saying it's fucking Shakespeare over here. Yeah. I'm not even saying that Shakespeare is even that good, but like it's been a long-term story that the seeds have been planted for a long time. What's up, Dev? Welcome back. So they have been setting those seeds. So they have been doing a better job. Tony's whole thing is so character-driven and story-driven, and it's very good. And I'm not saying it's like that, but to compare it to Becky, Tony's character was people made her like that. Sheeta made her like that. Saraya made her like that.
Yeah.
Like she remembers these things, and that's why it's warped her mentality on things. The same way when Becky became the man, she was like, I have scores to settle. I remember that you turned on me back in this year, Natalia. I remember that Alexa Bliss, you ruined my fucking life for months. Like, she like that person that remembers things from the past. Like, Kevin Owens is the best of all time at this, of all time, of keeping continuity and remembering things. But like, Tony is like that right now. Becky is like that.
I'd say MJF is like that a little bit.
Yeah. And just no one's No one's ever going to top Kevin Owens. He's he's the GOAT. There's what Kevin Owens could say he is the absolute best in one thing, and that is remembering things that happened on TV, which is it's almost counterculture in a way because of how wrestling was for so long, where they want you to forget what happened the previous week. Like Kevin Owens didn't forget. That's what Becky's like that. Tony's like that. It's very character driven. So like that's the seeds have been planted. They're going in a great direction. It's just that the product's so cold right now. Ultimately, what I want, and this is one of the things I wanted to say earlier when I was like, I can't remember what I wanted to say. I want this break to get to the point, because you asked me how long it's going to be before I miss her, and it's not going to be that long. It's not going to be that long for you either. I want it to be a point where like the brain dead trolls on Twitter miss her and realize what a difference her not being there made, because when she left when she was pregnant, you know what happened? The second crowds came back. We want Becky chants during women's segments happen. And that's going to happen again. It's not going to happen right away. But the longer this goes on in the year, it's going to start happening.
So I'm going to ask this isn't for Producer Boy to answer, but he can. But this is so Producer Boy has something we can clip. If she goes to AEW, if Becky Lynch goes to AEW, who do you want to see Becky Lynch wrestle in AEW? What are the exciting matches and feuds for Becky Lynch?
Chris Statlander, because Statlander is my favorite in AEW. Tony Storm, and I want to specifically explain with Tony, because I said this with Mercedes. Having Tony, whose character is so based off of being a star and how she presents herself as a star, how would she react to actually fighting a bigger star than herself? Someone who is undeniably a bigger star. How will that fuck up her psyche even more? Will she become more delusional, or will it bring her back a little bit? And that's very interesting dynamic that I hope they do with Mercedes one day. If being that Becky's not going, but like if she did, that would be an exciting prospect.
I do think that it'd be hard. Like it won't be like CM Punk coming in and not going straight for the title made sense because he hadn't been around in general for 7 years. So they could do a storyline where he was like trying to build his wins back up. But then you have somebody like Becky, who's a huge name. How do you have her come in and not?
I mean, they did it with Brian
instantly. No, but how do you?
It was a mistake.
What?
It was a mistake.
It was, but
that's true. They had a time limit draw. They could do the same thing, but Becky's not that character. She's not the let me wrestle for an hour.
But even that match wasn't for the title. Even if Brian won, he wasn't going to win the title.
But like, I'm not getting into the whole thing about whether Brian should have won the title or not. He should have. But that was nice. We were in sync for that. But yeah, you're right. They would have to put it right into it, but that's also fine. That's not a bad thing. Like,
well, I would say the only issue is Tony is so popular that if you were to have her come in and beat her, you run the risk of just her immediately becoming a heel. Which is fine by me. I don't care. Like if they run with that, they run with that. I don't think she can really run as a face for so long in an opposing company. Like you kind of have to start out as
you have to start as a face, because they're coming in,
right?
So like you're always going to get that, and I saw a really good takedown of AEW once that I didn't want to admit was like pretty accurate, but how the AEW debuts are like almost formulaic. It's like you come in and everyone's excited. It's like, oh my God, this person's here. And then you just be yourself for a couple of weeks. You're just talking about you're happy to be there. You just go talk to the people. And then the second things start to cool down. All right, well now here's your thing. You're going to turn heel, or you're going to do this.
Start the angle or the thing.
I think the starter of that was Miro, right?
Dude,
no,
it was awful. No, I mean he's kind of right. He came in and his character was like the video game guy, which didn't really.
But I mean that sounds like that was on Miro.
That's true. They did. I would say they actually did try.
No, but his first
different character.
First promo was, "Hi, I'm Miro. I'm finally free.
Yeah,
I'm happy to be here, and I'm excited to show you guys what I can do." And then a couple of weeks later, they had him with like Kip Sabian and everything.
Whereas, like, look what FTR came in, they immediately went into a program.
Yeah,
and it was
Brody Lee.
They've been like that ever since.
Yeah,
But like, anyway, to get back to your question, I guess. So we got Tony, we got Chris, obviously Britt.
God, Britt is my number one.
Britt, please come back. Holy shit.
Is she hurt?
I think she was, but she also said she wanted to like take some time away because she felt like the crowd was like turning on her, saying
Which
she's
they
singing,
were. They were.
which we're wrong for that.
No, I
The
agree.
crowd's not always right, and that's when fuck you, crowd. You're so dumb sometimes. As one of those times, like, oh, I'm so sorry that we made a fucking star out of someone, and now when you make a star out of someone, they're gonna be on TV most of the time. Like, and oh my god. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. Crowd's dumb. Brett, Jamie, if Jamie ever fucking heals at this point, because now I'm starting to worry about her, like
Me too.
genuinely.
Me too.
Well, I worry. Whatever. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah,
But
I got-
even if she does come back, it's like, okay, now Tony's a face. How do you have her come in and
Well,
Get people
she's
excited.
going to lose the title before. Even if she's ready to come back tomorrow, she's not going to be the one to take the title off Tony. Or if she is, it's going to be because of Mariah May.
Yeah.
Mariah May, like, she'll be able to get unscathed because it's going to be due to other
But
things.
still, I feel like that would be a silly way to. We don't have to talk
Yeah,
about
that's
it,
a
but
whole nother.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing.
Next
But
Sunday.
I don't. And honestly, my list is running pretty low. Like,
I'd be excited to see her versus Athena.
yeah, the thing is, like, that would
Outside-
require Athena being on AEW television.
Yeah.
So if that's one thing, she would come in and be like, put this person on TV. Tony would be like, okay, I would do it.
I'd be excited for her versus Willow.
I'm a little trepidatious on that one, but yeah, like I could be interested.
Yeah.
But Willow's at least a star, so like that's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but now I'm like, okay, who do we have? Like, we're kind of at Sheeta. Oh my god, where's Sheeta been?
Riho.
There's actually, I was just reading today a report. I didn't get to go into it, but there's apparently plans for Sheeta to be doing something pretty soon. So that's pretty cool. You said Rio?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I'm not
I
into
mean,
that, but
I'm not
you've never
into it
been a
either.
big.
I was doing it as a troll. I don't really find Rio to be
I
fun to
think
watch.
I think she's a fun match, but she's gone every
There's
she
that.
does
and
2 weeks and then she's gone for 7 years.
There's that, and when she's there, they make like she's gonna take the entire roster down. I don't know who's behind that.
yeah, I
It's
can't
because
even
the
make it.
fans are so into her.
I don't get it.
I think it's a meme though.
No, it's not. It genuinely, it's not. The ratings were there for her every time she shows up, and the crowd cheers for her. Like the crowd pops big for her. I think it'd be a fun match, but it's not a feud I would need to see. I would for the Twitter, Nyla.
Yeah. That's like, can we talk about how, look, Becky also pulled a Zack Ryder and used social media as a weapon back in her day, and I feel like it's something that people just forget about because they like to throw out the Becky Hogan stuff. But a decent chunk of Becky getting so over was her social media game at the time. Dev saying thinks she wants to have another kid. Yeah, that's a possibility.
It's very possible.
That's not our place to speculate, even though we're speculating about this woman's about to do with her fucking life.
Every decision.
But I like to make fun of kids, but I'll bite my tongue on this one. But yeah, for me, I don't know. The list is a little low for me right now. After that, I'm struggling to think of people.
It's crazy how much I want her to wrestle Jordan Grace in general, and it is now more likely on so many fronts. Whether she goes to TNA or she stays in WWE, no matter what, I think I've got a real good shot of that match happening.
But okay. Do we have any final comments? Because I would like to wrap this up before it's the 2-hour mark.
Yeah,
Producer boy.
No, that was it. I was gonna say if she would just beat Jordan Grace for the title.
Yeah, I think so.
And then Jordan Grace would win the NXT title.
I think so. When is Breaking Ground? What's the?
I have no idea.
I know it's coming up soon. I think it's actually like a day apart. I think TNA is on that Friday, and I think NXT is that Saturday. So she could very easily lose the TNA, but I can't imagine they would want her to not have the title going into that title match for NXT.
Right.
But yeah. I don't know. I was most likely buying that TNA pay-per-view. I'm gonna be buying it on the 1% chance that Becky shows up there. But I doubt it.
Enjoy Natalia. But all right.
Woof.
Any final comments?
Do we throw in the Gable and the Ricochet?
No, we're almost at the 2-hour mark.
We said we would make that another video.
Yeah, or you know what? I'll say it real quick. Gable's gonna resign, but like this is not like a game changer. I love Gable. I want him to finally get his moment and get a singles title. Ricochet, I don't give two shits what you do, bro. If you go to AEW, thank God you can finally have a good match. If you stay in WWE because it's more money or because it's a bigger name and
Or because
you're
Samantha's
complacent, that's fine, but you're never going to do anything interesting there, and that's just the reality. And you'll never be interested in WWE, Ricochet. Sorry.
He'll be a less cool Dolph Ziggler, basically.
Yeah,
He's just
honestly.
he'll grow with the company and then never.
And the worst part is he's so young still. Like he's not a 20-something-year-old, but like he's still young that he could really do something if he went somewhere else.
And then that's that. Natalia, please retire. So I think we've had enough of this podcast.
I hype it up one last time.
Nope.
Okay.
We're gonna give away a book at some point, so start commenting.
Like the video,
Subscribe,
comment on the video. The comment is going to be important. That way we can know, but we will figure out when we give it away. It'll probably be at the end of next week or this upcoming week. Just, this is the video. All right.
All right. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Not the same way he did, just like the in general YouTube one.
Yeah.
That was a plug for a specific thing. This is the normal YouTube plug now. Thank you so much for watching. Where do you think Becky Lynch is going to end up? I hope whatever it is. I already miss you, Becky. Sorry, but don't drink and drive. Be nice to animals. I agree with John Blattner in our comments. Legendary episode. Hit the music, producer boy.